Hi everyone, Psych here. Today I'm going to do a quick video on self-fulfilling prophecy. As usual, this is for informational purposes only, and go ahead and do your own due diligence and check out what I've said and make sure I've got it correct. Okay, so let's go. I've taken information from several sources, including but not necessarily limited to positivepsychology.com, Psychology Today, Simply Psychology, and other sources, and sometimes myself. Okay, so what is a self-fulfilling prophecy? A self-fulfilling prophecy is a belief or expectation that an individual holds about a future event that manifests because the individual holds it. That's from Good Therapy 2015. Okay, so for example, if I take a pill, not knowing that it's just a sugar pill, a placebo, if I take that sugar pill believing it will relieve my headache, and it does, my prophecy has been fulfilled. Okay, so there's that placebo effect. Now, it can also work a different way. So if I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, for whatever reason, and I think it's going to be a lousy day, I may unconsciously go out of my way to notice and emphasize all the little negative things that go on during the course of the day, while ignoring, just having blinders on and ignoring all the little positive things that are going on during the day. That's another form of self-fulfilling prophecy. Sounds a lot like confirmation bias, doesn't it? Okay. So you can see there's positive and there's negative outcomes to self-fulfilling prophecy. So those examples are examples of self-imposed prophecies, but there's also other imposed prophecies. So let me read this. An other imposed self-fulfilling prophecy arises when others' expectations of another individual affects the actions of that individual. Okay, so I'll give you an ugly example. So an ugly example would be the emotionally abusive parent that ridicules his child and essentially tells his child that he or she will never amount to anything. And the child goes on to fail in school and get in trouble, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, ugly example. Let's look at a different example on the other side of the coin. As adults, we have to be mindful of how people might influence our behaviors and thoughts. And I remember my therapist from decades ago, he used to have a little book of sayings. And the one I remember most clearly is this one that I wrote down. It is, beware the seriousness of others. It is contagious. Okay, so I'm sure you can think of many words that you can replace the word seriousness with, but I like that one. Okay, right, I'm supposed to actually give you something positive to end with instead of the ending on that previous ugly example that I gave you. So, okay, here we go. We're going to end on a positive note. So remember, other imposed self-fulfilling prophecies can also be positive. So when your teacher set high expectations for you, that's a form of other imposed self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, assuming that it affected you in a way that to achieve, at a higher level. Okay, but the expectations were there. And an even better example, I think, at least in my mind, that I'll never forget when this one I read about what a client said with regard to her progress in therapy. So she said, basically, she had made substantial progress in her therapy. And she said the progress wasn't so much from the therapist being an expert, an expert technician in CBT or DBT or whatever therapy was being used, but rather the client said it was basically that it was the fact that the therapist believed I could be successful and projected that belief onto me and stuck with me even when others wouldn't. So, sometimes it goes beyond the techniques, and it's more of a therapeutic alliance that really kicks in there. So, okay, I'm going to leave it there because I think that's on a positive note, because I had gone into some ugly stuff earlier in the video, so I'll leave it there and go ahead, and if you got some comments, put them down. See ya.